Hogwarts Legacy is released today, and there are going to be plenty of people picking it up for the first time. So I thought I'd share my 15 tips that I wish I knew before I started the game. Warning ahead, there are no main game spoilers, but there are going to be spoilers for mechanics and features within the game. These first bunch are quite basic, but will make finding your way around the world a lot easier. When navigating the map, there are 2 tabs at the top that will open up a section and show you in more detail the area around you. But what the game doesn't tell you is that if you use the left or the right D-pad, it will help you skip and highlight the areas easier instead of having to use the cursor. Once you reach Hogwarts, you'll see that the place is very much like the movies. It's a maze and it's quite easy to get lost. But if you hold down on the D-pad, it will then show you a little magic golden trail that will direct you to the next quest or POI in the quickest way possible. Another thing you should be doing when you enter a new area, especially in the early game, is make sure when you go into a room that you're using the Revelio spell. Now, the Revelio spell can be used by clicking the left D-pad on your controller. There will be sometimes indicators to show that you can use it, but use it anyway, as this will bring up hidden items and locations for the field guide, which will give you much needed chunks of XP to level up early on in the game. Once you start unlocking different locations on the map, if you tap L2, it will give you an overhead view of the whole map with the sections, and if you highlight over those, it will show you how many collectibles are in each area, the people that want to collect everything and get it 100%. Next up, we're looking at the gear. As with most RPGs and clothes that you find within the games, they will have different stats. Some may be stronger than others, some may be rarer than others, but do not fit the way that you want your character to look. Well, Avalanche have thought of that, and you can now select the strongest gear possible, while also changing the way that they look. As long as you have unlocked and found that item, you can then change any of the other items to that one to make it look the way that you want. So let's say you find a cloak and it has really bad stats, but looks really nice. You can then take hold of any of the other cloaks that you think may be more powerful and make it look like the one that you want. Gear comes in 3 different rarities in the following order of green, blue, purple, orange, and gold. Next thing to note is that you need to sell your gear often, especially in the early game. In Hogwarts, you will come across a variety of items that boost different stats, and like most RPGs, where the rarer loot, they are the better loot. You do, however, only have a limited amount of space in your gear that will sometimes stop you from receiving new and better gear. So the first thing you need to do is sell them as quickly as possible in any of the shops that are in and around Hogsmeade, or you can destroy them, which isn't the best because you won't earn any coins. You can increase your storage size for the gear, but in order to do so, you need to do some of the Merlin side quests. Bonus tip, you can also put the cloak up in your gear section, as well as making any of the items you don't like the look of invisible. Before we get into the rest of the video, if you found any of these useful at all, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now let's get into the next bit, which is combat. The most important trick is to remember to use your Protego. It is one of the best things you can use. You do that by holding down triangle, hold it down long enough, and it will shoot out a Protego, which will then immobilize your enemy for you to attack a little bit. When in combat, you will see different colored Protegos, which will mean that they need to be broken by using different spells. For example, the blue one requires spells such as Accio in order for you to break it. Red, things like Incendio and Expelliarmus. Yellow, the likes of Levioso. Once you reach a certain part of the game, you will unlock talent points, which give you various abilities that you can pick from. For every level that you increase, you will receive 1 point. My advice would be to save the points for as long as possible. You'll receive a set amount when you unlock the first set of skills. Pick some of them, but save the most of them. That way then, when you figure out your playstyle, what spells you want to work best, as some spells work better with others, you can work out which ones you want to purchase, as they are a non-refundable skill. Once you've got them locked in, they are set and you cannot do anything with them. Preparing your potions. Now, one of the mistakes I made early game was not preparing for quests by not taking potions with me and then falling short. There are all sorts of different potions that will help you out in all sorts of different ways. Now, in order to make these potions, you will need ingredients. So to do so, what you need to do is when you reach the room of requirement, is to make a farm of plant pots so that you can keep grinding the herbs and getting the ingredients so you can make as many potions as you need to. Speaking of the room of requirement, you do receive the room of requirement, and in order to do that and to build the things that you need, you're going to need moonstone. Now, moonstone is a rock that you will find throughout the map in various different locations. It's shiny. I'm going to be probably showing it on the screen right about now. What you need to do is shoot at it, break it off, and then collect it. The more that you collect, the more that you can make. You can also break down things that you have made in the past if you're no longer using it or no longer want it to get some of that moonstone back. Now, these ones don't really tie into anything but can be particularly useful. Certain missions require you to complete them at different times of the day. Now, the quickest and easiest way of doing that is going to your map, pressing the R3 button down, and it will then skip to the next time period within the day schedule. These puzzle doors look very confusing, but once you know what you're doing, they are very simple. From looking at each of the animals, they represent the numbers 0 through 9. On the door are 2 equations. The 3 numbers or animals in the circles must add up to the large number in the center. All you have to do is work out which animal you need to put in place and spin the dice until you have them. Last but not least, don't leave these chests with the eyes. When you start the game, you will notice the chests that have an eye on them. When you get close, you cannot open them. In order to do so, you need the disillusionment spell, which will make you invisible. You get that really early on in the game, so as soon as you get it, do not pass these chests by. They are chock full of coin and easily the best way of getting money within the game at the moment. So there we go. They are all the things that I wish I would have known before starting the game. If there's any of them that you didn't know or anything you think we should add to them, pop them down in the comments below. And until next time, I will see you later.